Imagine a world where the sun vanishes, where day bleeds into night, and an unnatural twilight engulfs the earth. The year is 536 AD. A cataclysmic event has plunged our planet into darkness. A mysterious fog descends, shrouding civilizations in a chilling gloom. From the Roman Empire to the far reaches of Asia, a year of unimaginable hardship begins. Crops wither and die. Famine stalks the land, and in the shadows a deadly plague is lurking. This is the story of 536 AD, the worst year in human history.
There was a sign from the sun, the like of which had never been seen or reported before. The sun became dark, and its darkness lasted for 18 months. Each day it shone for about 4 hours, and still this light was only a feeble shadow. Everyone declared that the sun would never recover its full light again.
In human history, few years have been as catastrophic as 536 AD. Dubbed by some scholars as the worst year ever, it witnessed a series of disastrous events that reshaped civilizations across the globe. From Europe to Asia and the Americas, the impact was profound, altering the course of history and leaving a legacy that scholars still study today. The most immediate and alarming phenomenon was the mysterious darkening of the sky. Contemporary accounts describe a world plunged into unnatural gloom. Procopius, a prominent Byzantine historian and advisor to General Belisarius, provided a chilling description. He wrote of a sun that gave forth its light without brightness, like the moon, during this whole year. The familiar warmth and radiance of the sun were replaced by a pale, ghostly light, casting the world into perpetual twilight. This darkness was not fleeting, but persisted for months. Days were dim and gloomy, while nights were pitch black, darker than any in living memory. The prolonged darkness had profound psychological effects, breeding fear, superstition, and a sense of impending doom among people across the known world. While the exact cause of this darkness was a mystery to those in the 6th century, modern scientific research points to a massive volcanic eruption as the likely culprit. Ice core samples from Greenland and Antarctica reveal evidence of a cataclysmic volcanic event in the Northern Hemisphere. The precise location remains debated. Some suggest Iceland, others the Ilopango volcano in El Salvador. But the eruption's scale was monumental. The volcano spewed vast quantities of ash and sulfur dioxide into the upper atmosphere, creating a veil of particles that circled the globe. This atmospheric layer reflected significant solar radiation back into space, leading to a volcanic winter. Global temperatures dropped sharply, with estimates suggesting a decline of 1.5 to 2.5 degrees Celsius on average. The cooling was especially severe in the Northern Hemisphere, where summer temperatures plummeted. The dramatic cooling led to widespread crop failures and a global famine. Shortened growing seasons and reduced sunlight prevented staple crops from maturing, causing harvest failures year after year. In Ireland, the famine was so severe it was called the bread failure. Reliant on agriculture, the Irish faced massive starvation. This hardship forced many to abandon their lands, initiating emigration waves that would reshape Ireland's demographic landscape. China also suffered despite its vast territory and diverse agriculture. Historical records describe frost in midsummer and snowfall in August, weather patterns alien to the Chinese calendar. In Hsinchu, an estimated 70 to 80% of the population perished from starvation. Even distant civilizations felt the impact. The Moche civilization of Peru faced an existential crisis. Altered weather disrupted their agricultural systems, and changes in ocean temperatures likely affected fish populations, a crucial food source. The combined effects pushed the Moche society toward collapse, leaving behind silent monuments and intricate pottery as testaments to their once thriving culture. As if darkness and famine were not catastrophic enough, the years following 536 AD saw the emergence of one of history's deadliest pandemics, the Plague of Justinian. Named after Emperor Justinian I, this plague is now believed to have been caused by Yersinia pestis, the same bacterium responsible for the Black Death in the 14th century. Originating in East Africa or Egypt, the plague spread rapidly along trade routes, reaching Constantinople in 541 AD. Populations already weakened by famine and poor nutrition provided fertile ground for the disease. Procopius described its harrowing symptoms, consistent with bubonic plague: sores forming on the palm, followed by swelling. The plague spread swiftly through densely populated cities. In Constantinople alone, up to 5,000 people were dying each day at the outbreak's peak. The dead were so numerous that proper burials became impossible, leading to bodies piled in streets or thrown into the sea. The Plague of Justinian had far-reaching consequences beyond immediate loss of life. It decimated the Byzantine Empire's population, weakening its economy and military. This demographic catastrophe is cited as a key factor in the empire's gradual decline and eventual fall centuries later. Centuries later, scientists and historians have unraveled many mysteries of this calamitous period using ice cores from Greenland and Antarctica. These cores are time capsules, preserving records of atmospheric conditions over millennia. Analysis of layers corresponding to 536 AD shows a marked increase in sulfate aerosols and volcanic ash, providing compelling evidence of a massive eruption. The ice cores help quantify the eruption's scale and climatic impact. The high concentration of sulfate aerosols suggests it was one of the largest volcanic events in millennia. The cooling effect, due to aerosols reflecting solar radiation, is evident in variations of oxygen isotope ratios in the ice, illustrating the subsequent temperature decline. Elevated levels of volcanic aerosols persist in the ice record for several years after 536 AD, indicating long-lasting climatic effects. Studying this period offers insights into the interconnectedness of natural phenomena and human societies. A single volcanic eruption triggered cascading effects that rippled globally, affecting agriculture, trade, politics, and culture. The resilience of various civilizations amid these unprecedented challenges speaks to human adaptability. While some societies collapsed, others survived and eventually recovered, laying groundwork for the world we know today. If you enjoyed this journey through time, then prepare yourself for our next adventure. We're delving deep into the heart of ancient Egypt, a land of pharaohs, pyramids, and mysteries waiting to be unearthed. Join us as we explore the life and legacy of Alexander the Great, the Macedonian king who conquered Egypt and forever changed its course. Discover how his reign ushered in a new era of Greek influence, revitalizing the economy and transforming the cultural landscape. Uncover the secrets of this ancient civilization and witness the clash of cultures that shaped the destiny of Egypt.
Egypt, land of pharaohs and pyramids, where time itself seemed to bow before the weight of millennia. Yet by the mid-4th century BC, this once mighty civilization was a shadow of its former glory, its people yearning for a savior. From the north, a young king, barely out of his teens, swept across the known world, conquering all in his path. Alexander the Great. His eyes were set on the Persian Empire, and Egypt lay directly in his path. But what awaited Alexander in the land of the Nile was not the fierce resistance he expected. Instead, he found a people desperate for liberation, a culture ripe for transformation, and a destiny that would intertwine his name with the very soul of Egypt. Forever. This is the story of how a conqueror became a pharaoh, a god, and a legend. This is the story of Alexander in Egypt.